Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everybody. My name is Ann Harrison, and I'm flying solo today because I have some tips on how to get unstuck in your writing. Before we get started, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel and like the video. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. If you're listening on the podcast, do subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you don't miss an episode. Share the podcast with your friends and leave a rating and review because it helps people find the show. So, how to get unstuck in your writing. Okay, so let me explain why I even came up with this topic, because I was stuck. I was absolutely stuck for a couple of days in my writing. I'd finished chapter 7, and I am working on chapter 8 of my current WIP, which is Hunt for the Scavenger Killer. And I'm like, what am I going to do? My characters weren't talking to me, and it was like I could not focus the last couple of days, and things had been slow. So what I discovered is that even though I encourage you to read outside of your genre as well as reading in your genre, if you're learning how to write a specific genre, my suggestion is to read in that genre as much as you can, not only to find authors you like within that genre, but also to learn as much as you can about the genre and figure out some ways that you can use that genre in your own style. For example, I'm writing a Christian romantic suspense with supernatural, visionary, and metaphysical elements in it. Or if you want to call it a supernatural romantic suspense with Christian elements, however you want to pose that. And I've been reading Christian romantic suspense novels by authors such as Elizabeth Goddard, who's been on the show, Lynette Eason, Robin Patchen, who will be on the show in the next couple of weeks. Let's see, Lisa Harris, and I've got some Liz Johnson and some others that I like that are actually, some may be on the show, some may not. Just, you got to stay tuned. But the thing is, that's what I've been doing. But here lately, the last few weeks, I've been reading to prepare for the podcast. And even though the books that I've been reading were absolutely excellent, as you've heard in the previous episodes, and as you will hear coming up on Tuesday as I record this, I'm recording this on Sunday, January 24th, 2021. And the interview will be coming up on Tuesday, January 26th, 2021. So if this airs after that interview is recorded, then there will be other interviews, possibly with romantic suspense authors. So, which it probably will air the following week because I don't have an interview scheduled at that time. So if it airs later, then you just remember, hey, I've got one coming up anyway. So just know that there is an interview coming up with a romantic suspense author. So anyway, I know I just repeated myself, and I do apologize for that. But anyway, on with the show. Okay, so that's one thing, reading in the genre. Sometimes stepping back and taking a walk, taking the time to just step back from your work on something else, whether it be recording segments for your podcast, another podcast, writing a blog, writing in another genre, writing nonfiction for a client, which I've done. Different things that you can do to step back and take a break from your writing are important. Self-care is so important, especially, when we're writing, because sometimes we forget to hydrate, we forget to eat. Sometimes if you're in the throes of a writing project like NaNoWriMo, you may not sleep well, you may not, get the proper amount of sleep that you need. And sometimes you just need to take that time. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but if I know that my plate is getting too full of podcasts and I don't have as much time to read, I will skim back a little bit, because that way I know that I get my reading in, and then I get back into my genre, and boom, I'm off and running again. So I'm not saying don't read outside your genre. You should, because you can find inspiration reading outside your genre. And sometimes you need a break from the ins and outs of one specific genre. Sometimes you need that break just for a pleasure read. But then once you get back into your genre, then you may, find yourself getting unstuck. That's what's helped for me. And sometimes having your character write a letter to him or herself, or have the character write a letter to you, which was one of the things that Annie Acorn posted on Twitter. I think I've seen that tweet before. And that it's one of her writing tips and advice. And I haven't tried it, but sorry about that, guys. I had to pause for a minute because I was about to start coughing and sneezing, and I did not want that to come through on the podcast. Anyway, but I would definitely challenge you to try that technique. I will try it at some point. I would have actually done that, but I found that reading in my genre really helped. Not only that, another thing you can do, which I had thought about but didn't actually pursue, you can, if you're writing one project and revising another, what you can do is, sorry, I got distracted there for a second. What you can do is you can work on your other project and then come back to the one that you're drafting. That may help give you a burst of inspiration as well. So these are my tips and tricks for becoming unstuck. If I think of any new ones, I will certainly let you know. But let me know how that goes. Let me know how the writing challenge goes. Let me know what you've done to come unstuck. You can leave, if you're listening on the podcast, you can leave me a voice message on Anchor from right where you're listening, or you can go to anchor.fm/inspirational-journeys/message. Excuse me. You can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can leave a comment letting me know what you do to get unstuck. You can also email me at annwrites75@gmail.com, or message me on Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. But which those links are also in my show notes. But I do want to hear from you. What do you do to get unstuck? So if you also have any tips and suggestions for future solo episodes, if you have some authors you would like to hear from, that you would like me to interview, I would be happy to hear from you and hopefully reach out to those authors. Or if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm open to questions about writing or any questions pertaining to the writing life, or how I got started podcasting. I would be happy to share that story with you too at some point. So I do appreciate you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Remember to go out there and read to get inspired, write something inspiring, and share your creation with the world. For remember, when you touch one life, you've touched 1,000. Thanks for listening to Inspirational Journeys, and remember, your story matters. Have a blessed one, everybody.